My name is Edwin van I have an own consultancy office connecting participation processes to urban design. So we're involved in stakeholder management, process management, in bringing different parties together around an area or a specific task or urgent question in an area. And we are really into making coalitions or alliances around this neighborhood or city, or even at a regional level, and have a more basic discussion on values and connecting at a value level, on a deeper level, with different parties. We use design thinking techniques to invite other people into this way of thinking. For me, it's more about the attitude, design attitude, to be curious, to be creative, to turn things upside down or inside out. We are working on a big assignment, and we are really challenging the Ministry of Infrastructure on the way they think about mobility, and to come out of this paradigm and look for new narratives in the way you think about mobility, how you perceive it. So, for instance, we organized some sort of a hub safari to 5 big metropolitan regions in the Netherlands. And we talked to them, and they always say us, we have this regional mobility vision. And we compare them with all 5 regions, and they all come up with the same stuff. It has to be livable, it has to be about safety, and it's about sustainability. And when we ask them, what if you describe your marriage, for instance, by those 3 terms? Is your marriage sustainable, safe, and livable? Wow, you won't be very happy then, I guess. Maybe I don't know if you should expect more of your marriage. I don't know of your relationships, but it's not that unifying. It's not activating citizens. It's just policy, and in policy terms, but it's not really challenging the mobility challenges we face. So we're really inviting them to come up with new narratives. For instance, mobility as freedom, in the way you perceive mobility as a freedom of choice, where you want to go and by which means you want to go. So freedom and the association of freedom is always connected to very much car advertising, for instance. Can you appeal this freedom feeling in public transport as well, for instance? It's a new narrative. Or in terms of happiness. As the corona pandemic went on, everybody was at home. A lot of people missed their daily trip to work, to gaze out of the window and say, just think about life or whatever. They really missed the trip. So we came up with a new narrative in that you should be happy when you're stuck in traffic. You should be glad you have time to think about life. It's some sort of new ways of looking towards what do we see as a problem and what do we see as a solution. We're involved in different projects around urban mobility, and there's a lot going on mobility as a service and more shared mobility, electrification. And the more and more we work on those projects, the more and more social engaged we are getting, in a way. So we are moving away from the technical part of it. We don't believe technology is solving anything. So we consider this as a technological paradox. You solve a technical problem and you get another one instead. Our main challenge is it's about social equality and social adaptivity, in a way we handle mobility. Because in a few years, every car builder will have electric cars, and the electrification of the car will take place very rapidly now. And it seems like everything has been solved then, in a way, in terms of climate, but we have an energy problem, of course, still. And we have a parking problem and a spatial problem, and we have a lot of problems still not solved. And that part is more a social and cultural thing than a technological thing, in my opinion. It would be very nice if the TD project will reflect on that, to have more, not only in the more abstract way of new paradigms or new narratives, but also have a very very smart examples of this way, the outcome of new ways of social and cultural thinking about it. So it has to do with some evidence as well, evidence in terms of what the outcome can be if you turn on a different switch or a different node.